tough look indeed. I mean, Rajaro there with the follow-up on the backside. Bond used. Fall tried to keep them alive, but, I mean, Rad kind of coming back into it, get to the point. I mean, portal plays available here, right, Nectar?
Yeah, this Strange TP is very important on the cause here, but I don't think they have time.
Don't touch even?
I don't think there's time.
Yeah, you're looking for like roughly 10% is what I was pre-trained. Oh, somebody, did come through with a touch.
Yeah.
Rajaro.
Vault is alive with the res.
Rajaro and Ganbei, there is a res there. Taro Cookie using the Ultron's Rage in the off angle as Melio is putting out some damage. Fall with another res on Ganbei though, so the numbers are roughly even. It's all about who finds value with these ults. Melio and Sfald with another pick now. Numbers evened out across the board. OT is ticking 72% here for OUG. It is not over as Zhao now finds one. Oh, and they leave the point.
Nectar, man, Matt, round number 1. I mean, by the way, awesome to have you here for Celestial Codex. Thoughts, opinions?
I think always, you know, even on stage, it's kind of hard. Sometimes the lights are just too bright.
That's it. I always speak about that. Nerves come in as such a factor for Rajaro. Onto Zhao, again onto Sfald. It's all about those right clicks playing very clean. Now it's all about accuracy. It's very difficult to hit a Torch who is active in the sky, especially if they do have something like an Ultron drone or Luna Snow with the Crystal. Melio going to find Sfald there, though. Alt advantage looking like it's going to head towards the side of Rad as level 1 Crook now holding on. Trust me, very close. And Rajaro there. Taro Cookie almost, but no, as Melio gets 2 and Naga finds 2 as well. Just sweeping, and that is a win already for Rad.
Dominant performance from Rad, man. Yeah, that was crazy. 1-0 in this best out of 5. And Nectar, I don't know about you, but what did it look like? What was the problem there, I think, for Rad as, you know, I mean, sorry, not for Rad, for OUG, is the fact that maybe Loki got through on the opposite side? I mean, how is it for a Psylocke to have to deal with somebody like Loki who's so evasive?
Well, OUG wants to play for the Torch value a lot, and I
work with that ultimate instead. Does force out Crook to use Mantis with that resurgence as they walk forward. One goes down as Naga takes out Ganbei. And at this point, Rad are looking so dominant in these games.
What is happening right now? I mean, they're just constantly just pressing him back. Headlaw just force ulting out here as well as the Feast of the Abyss comes out. But at least they're alive. But, you know, at this point, they have to touch it last second, right, Nectar? I mean, they're just getting absolutely mollywopped here in the Streets phase or in the middle of the first part of the map.
No, we kind of had that discussion, you know, earlier, where it was like more so, do you need someone that flexes in a more mainline lockdown of a few heroes as 2 separate? But I'll get your answer in that in a second, as we do see Crystal pop the whole team beginning this fight. We have ults ready for OUG, but Rad is very close to almost all 6, and this is going to be a fight in their favor with 30 seconds on the clock. OUG is holding. They will have close to 6 as well. This is going to be a battle, folks. It's all about the initial pick. A ton of damage there from Melio. As we just discussed, a very strong duelist. Out goes the invisible boundary. Significantly shorter cooldown. Out goes the strangling prison as it matches a duel. It does land there from Naga, but doesn't find too much value. Taro Cookie gets a pick. Ganbei finds one, and Ganbei with 2. They may hold on point 2 here. Can OUG shut this down as Mulan finds Melio? 5 on will not be enough, and at this point, OUG stops them before point 2.
Wow, Rad getting stopped. It sounds like we expected, especially with ults up, man. I mean, Chip, that was crazy, the fact that OUG got the stop there. But, Nectar, what's the biggest thing you noticed? I mean, what happened to Rajaro and Fate? The fact they didn't even use their ultimates.
Well, I feel like Midtown, especially on that second point, is such a...
Bang goes Ganbei on another. Can Ganbei get a pick here now? Holding on tight. OUG got 26 seconds to move this thing a few more meters. 2 more left if they want to press through and hold on.
Well, trust me, getting that damage buff that you talked about earlier, I mean, finding Ganbei, Rad are trying to make it work, but Taro, he equalized it up with Melio.
Yeah, and again, numbers up in Rad's favor. Another pick once more, excuse me, as Melio does go down. Trust me on his fall, but now numbers are up in Rad's favor as Naga takes out Mulan. Ultimate's up for Zhao. Overtime has started. Got to make sure you're dancing now. You can play a little bit with that bar, but you can't do it for too long. And we see Rajaro try to pull out an ult. Trust me, onto Taro, Ganbei, onto Fate. Numbers still on the side of, oh, not anymore. Now Rad back up. Headlock gonna try to find a pick. Mulan gets one. Can they keep going now? Good idea on the height. Sometimes it's worth jumping on that bus to the right, but you have to make sure you're still on point. Very afraid to jump off. Mulan still doing damage. They are gonna find Rajaro and Naga. Headlock still gonna get another pick, and that is point 1 as they move forward before the teleport.
No, they didn't get the portal timing. I mean, that was such a good hold from Rad.
You gotta make plays with these ults. Level 1 Crook about to be there too with Melio.
10 seconds left indeed, Shib. They're gonna delay a little bit longer. Ganbei able to slow things down. Taro into the sky as well, but Crook is there to counter it. Do they have any ults yet? They need to build them quickly without losing anybody.
And 85% here. Last stand almost back up, which is wild here for Mulan, and they are still walking forward. They do have point caps back in their favor. Remember, you got to stay on it, and they do. Melio going to find Zhao, though, and that is a strategist down. Headlock finds Fate and evens the odds as both of which will now have a strategist. Headlock goes down from Crook. Strategist revenge, if you will, from level 1 Crook. And now it's about playing patiently. Can they get the team back here in time? Can they make a TP play if available? Naga, trust me again with 2, and that should do it as 3 fall. Unless this portal is huge. Not sure it can get there in time, and it does not.
It's because of the, I mean, you have to drop out of the window first on this map. It's so
tough.
different than every other map. And right there, I mean, job done for Rad. We thought, like, OUG stepped it up on that, and they did.
They looked a lot better.
This is why, I guess, when we look back at offense stuff, like with the earlier game with Ground Zero, I mean, the fact that Ground Zero was able to kind of just do well on their attack is sort of a similar thing, right? I like this comp out of OUG. They're playing that sort of style that we saw earlier that Rad played. So they're mixing it up, changing some things, and they already lose Taro, though, unfortunately, on the backside.
Trust me, with 1 pick here on the attack is maybe all it takes for this map as the ticker begins. Almost 2 ticks in at this point. A portal might have to come through. Are they able to do so? Not sure. They will touch here as they are close to point, but there's a lot of pressure here from Trust Me, who does a great job distracting not only on Venom, but clearly on Cap as well, as Rajaro is just holding back the front line and just beating them into their duelist. Trust Me, and they do get the point here quickly. Turning the third corner here.
The presence of mind, right? Not only committing to the dance floor, early fight had to be committed there by OUG. They felt like they needed to do it. Meanwhile, Milan, where the hell? He's in Narnia right now, coming now to the point, coming through across the map, going to eat the backline potentially.
Just waiting it out. Unable to do so. Tried to wait the full timing. Great understanding of Mac's timing there. That was beautifully well played. Not going to lie there by Fade, but does fall as Trust Me gets a pick on Mulan. Here the Strange Portal comes through, using that Strange Portal as a wall. Team is just going to walk through and take this point now on to point 3 with 4 minutes on the clock.
And Ship, that's so demoralizing. They need to build up some ultimates. They made it so far already, so OUG, when they move over to attack, we're definitely going to struggle as well. But this, like you said, Chip, is going to be last fight territory, and Rajaro opens it up with Sonic Seduction.
And Rajaro with the trance out does hit Mulan as well, following it up heavy. Does the res exist? We'll see if the self-res is up. Yep, bang. Down they go. Yep, Mulan back in the fight. Out goes the Venn diagram. Surely actually not. This is just going to be invisible boundary. Phoenix goes up. Bang. Rajaro on Asphalt now. Rad is up in numbers. Melio, Rajaro, Trust Me, Naga. They want to end this, and they will, as everyone falls down, and Rad gets 3 points.
I mean, this dominant performance there from Rad, and I think that's tough. Like, we talked about how these maps, I think especially a lot of the ones with, you know, moving objectives, like we have over here on Hall of the Jalia, when these maps are just so... The stall comes out, everybody's now regrouping. I mean, objective play is hard, I think, with this Jeff composition specifically, but surviving there for Milan kind of resulted in the first fight win, and Milan also took down Fate.
Yeah, this is the power of the spray, especially when you corner yourself in those locations. Naga, though, going to find Taro Cookie, even the odds a little bit, 1-1. Here comes the jet feed onto level 1. It does manage to find as bang, down goes level 1 Crook back into the fight. Heals are out, team is looking dire, and yes, OUG will take point 1.
I wonder why. I mean, it's looking so much better than on their defense. They have nothing but knowledge because a win is probably not going to happen for OUG today.
Rad is looking different right now. Gotta have to agree with you there. Gonbei gonna try to make something happen with Groot. Like, again, we had that conversation around when you see swaps like this, you usually know something's either really dicey, especially in the last few seconds of the map. You got a touch here with 3 on. Remember, the touch can conclude. You can't get to OT as long as you hit with 3. Gotta get there. Out of the sky, Mulan goes. The touches come through. Naga gonna find Headlight, and the time is ticking down now as everyone is falling off the map. And that should be it. Rad are gonna progress forwards, and we will be seeing them again. But shout out to OUG, all the fans here. It's been a pleasure watching you guys have some fun and great games out there. OUG making it this far.
Absolutely. Rad be taking out the team from China, the #1 seed from that region, and they were a very storied